Imagine it is Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Everyone else is stuck in the pouring rain, gridlocked in traffic, having a complete stress meltdown just trying to get to a job they absolutely hate. Meanwhile, you were sitting on the quiet porch of a cabin in the woods, sipping your coffee, knowing the rest of your day belongs entirely to you. What if I told you that you never have to answer to a boss again for the rest of your life? And what if I told you that to achieve this, you don't need the $2 million those Wall Street banks keep telling you to save, you only need $500,000. Most people think this is a fairy tale reserved for lottery winners or trust fund babies. They laugh and say, $500,000 isn't nearly enough to last a lifetime. But let me tell you a secret. They do not understand the system, and they are completely wrong. I am Blake Dollar. Today, I'm going to prove to you with brutal, undeniable math how simple it actually is to buy your freedom. If you're tired of rotting away at an office desk and want to escape the 70-year-old retirement lie the system forced on you, subscribe to this channel because what I'm about to tell you will change the rules in your favor forever. When you hear the words financial freedom, what pops into your head? Luxury cars, massive mansions, flying first class? Most people think wealth is about accumulating stuff, but real wealth is not about buying things. Real wealth is about buying choices, and buying choices does not require nearly as much money as you have been brainwashed to believe. The secret lies in a mathematical principle that the financial industry does not want you to know, simply because they cannot sell you an expensive product off of it. If you can generate enough passive income to cover your basic living expenses, you literally never have to work again. It is not about having millions sitting dead in a bank account. It's about having enough money working for you, so you stop working for it. Let's break down the math. Let's take that $500,000 and put it into conservative, fixed income investments. Even with a boring 5% annual return, that generates $25,000 a year. That is over $2,000 a month generated without you lifting a single finger. And here's the kicker. You're not touching your principal. You're literally just living off the interest.
Now, let's get a little smarter. If you put that money into a diversified, low-cost S&P 500 index fund, history shows a conservative average return of around 8.5% over the long haul. 8.5% of $500,000 is $42,500 a year. That is over $3,500 every single month in pure passive income. Suddenly, you aren't just surviving, you were covering your bills, you were traveling, you were pursuing your hobbies, and your original $500,000 is still sitting there, completely intact. You are financially immortal. This is the exact difference between thinking like a consumer and thinking like an investor. Consumers spend money and it vanishes forever. Investors use money to capture more money. But here's the brutal truth, the part that stings. The biggest obstacle keeping you from this level of freedom isn't that you don't earn enough, it is that you spend too much. The person who can live happily on $3,000 a month is infinitely wealthier than the person who needs $10,000 a month just to keep up appearances. Let's get painfully honest for a second. Do you really need a car payment that costs more than some people's rent? Do you really need to eat out 5 times a week? Do you need the latest phone, the designer clothes, and all the garbage that marketers have convinced you represents success? I am not telling you to live like a monk, but the harsh reality is that most of the things you are bleeding money on are not making you happier. They're just financing your own slavery. Let me give you a statistic that will make you sick. The average person spends over $600,000 over their lifetime just on cars. That includes loans, interest, insurance, and gas. And then they have the nerve to complain that they cannot afford to invest. The average American blows over $3,000 a year on takeout and coffee. If you took that same $3,000 and invested it annually at 8%, in 30 years, you would have over $800,000. You are unconsciously choosing temporary pleasure over permanent freedom, and you don't even realize you are doing it. Now, your brain is probably fighting back. You are saying, Blake, saving $500,000 is impossible. I can't do that. Yes, you can. If you can scrape together and invest just $2,000 a month, or start small and build up to it as your income grows, you will hit that $500,000 mark in about 18 years. I know 18 years sounds like a lifetime, but think about where you were 18 years ago. Time is going to pass anyway. The only question is whether you will look back 18 years from today and wish you had started right now. Some of you are asking, what about inflation? What about stock market crashes? If you were generating 8 to 9% returns and only spending 6 to 7% of your portfolio's value, the remaining growth stays in your account. That difference fights inflation for you, organically growing your principal over time. And when the market crashes, because you were diversified and living off a safe withdrawal rate, you weather the storm without panic selling. You survive the tough years and you thrive in the good ones. When you have that $500,000 foundation, the entire power dynamic of your life flips. You are no longer desperate. You aren't trapped in a toxic job because you were terrified of missing a paycheck. You aren't making life decisions from a place of fear or scarcity. If your boss yells at you, you have a concrete wall of cash standing behind you. You can look them dead in the eye, say, "I'm out of here," and walk out the door, knowing you are completely fine. Money doesn't buy you stuff, my friend. It buys you breathing room. The system wants you broke. It wants you dependent. It wants you swiping that credit card until the day you drop dead at your desk. But you have a choice. You can keep complaining about the economy, keep trying to impress people you don't even like with money you don't even have, or you can take control. Every subscription you cancel, every impulse purchase you block, every time you choose to cook at home instead of ordering delivery, you are literally buying back pieces of your future freedom. It's not going to be easy. It requires a level of discipline that 99% of the population simply does not have. You're going to have to be okay with people calling you cheap or weird because you drive a 10-year-old car and live below your means. But when they're still drowning in debt, completely stressed out and forced to work until they're 70 years old, you will be the one sitting on that porch on a Tuesday morning, watching the rain, owning your time. $500,000 buys your life back. The math is undeniable. The only question is, are you willing to make the sacrifice today to become bulletproof tomorrow? Do not wait until you feel ready. Start building your freedom fund right now. The freedom you want is not a dream. It is a math problem waiting for you to solve it. Stop waiting for the perfect time, because perfect time is a lie. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Take that first step today, and let's get to work.